Thank you, Dr. Neha and Sahani sir. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. This is the 1527th day of continuous webinar conducted by International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy. Today, our guest is Dr. Yamini Remesh. Let us begin the session with 1 minute silent prayer. Thank you all. The International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy comprises of homeopathic lovers, students, and doctors, and we have 3 sessions every day. The first session of the day is already over in Hindi, that is from 7:30 to 8:30, and 8:30 to 9:30 we have international session in English, and 9:30 to 10:30 we have local language session in Malayalam. All these sessions are going in a good way, and we are uploading the videos of the same on the very next day itself so that you can watch again the things you want to know about more and more. So let me come to today's session. We know that our guest of the day is Dr. Yamini Remesh, and she has completed BHMS, CCAH, FCAH, and she is working as a consultant homeopath and co-founder Asha Homeopathic Clinic Academy and Homeopathic Junction. Dr. Yamini Remesh has been practicing homeopathy since 2008 at Asha Homeopathic Health Center in Indore, specializing in treating hormonal disorders, women's health, children's health, and joint disorders, and a notable success. With notable success, her extensive training under renowned homeopaths like Dr. Rajesh Shankaran, Dr. Sarkar, and Dr. Jayesh Shah has enabled her to integrate a variety of tools and techniques into her holistic practice. She also has a deep interest in pediatric and psychiatric cases also. She is the co-founder of Asha Homeopathic Academy. Dr. Yamini is dedicated to educating the next generation homeopaths. She is regularly teaches advanced methodologies and has developed several innovative courses such as e-clinic setup program and the clinical course of therapeutics. She has also launched the foundation course specially designed for beginner homeopaths. Dr. Yamini committed to education at an extent to organizing medications, um, meditations and counseling workshop for both patients and doctors, and often collaborate with her husband, Dr. Vaibhav Jain. He is also a homeopath. Her effort in homeopathy are recognized with the prestigious Lippe Award from the Arugya Trust in 2014. She also has established a rare medicine bank and a community library dedicated to homeopaths at her clinic. Dr. Yamini actively shares her clinical experiences at national, international platforms, promoting the extensive teaching on various methods. So this is all about, and she is also one of the best doctors practicing in that way of clinical, typical classical homeopathy. And today, a doctor will be discussing about kingdom differentiation, and she has taken a beautiful session last 2 months back. Anyway, let us proudly welcome the guest of the day, Dr. Yamini Remesh. Welcome.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm really grateful that you have given me this opportunity and the whole team of IFPH. I'll just start my presentation. Sir, is it visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Thank you so much. Okay, great. So good evening, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Hello. Let's talk about kingdom differentiation today. I'll tell you what is kingdom differentiation, but before that, we need to understand why are we talking about this. This is very, very important. So what used to happen earlier? Our prescriptions were totally based on specifics, therapeutics. Sometimes, we would just give something because it is good for that particular disease. Sometimes keynotes are, of course, they guide us to the remedy. Then drug pictures, emotions and delusions. Sometimes you get a case and you have a lot of emotions and feelings and delusions in that case. Then some people use repertory like anything. They do repertorization and then prescribe the remedy. All this time, our focus was to get peculiar symptoms needed for prescription. Our main focus in homeopathy is to get the peculiar symptoms and prescribe on that based on any of this method. But then, there was kingdom or group study, which was done by many eminent homeopaths. And my teacher and mentor, Dr. Rajan Shankaran, introduced this method called kingdom differentiation and how to understand kingdoms and subgroups and subfamilies. So the question arises that why do we need to change? Because we have a lot of other tools. We have repertory, we have the keynotes, we have the good knowledge of therapeutics or materia medica. But why this need, why this change is needed, or why this tool is needed in our practice? So the answer to that question is that there is limited use of materia medica, because personally I feel that my memory is very very limited. I'm not able to remember remedies like anything. So you will use materia medica only based on your memory, which is very very misleading, because I have seen and read this herring guiding symptoms and chronic diseases and many other books where the list of proving symptoms are given. Suppose a remedy, arsenic, has 10,000 symptoms, but I would remember only 5, 6 out of 10 keynotes. So I will prescribe only on those keynotes and not the entire, core of the remedy, which I won't be able to memorize. So first is limited use of materia medica. Mainly we used polycrest remedies, and that too dependent on our limited memory. So differentiating remedies becomes very, very difficult when you have a very mild yielding case and she's weeping a lot and a lot of disappointment in love. We get confused whether we should give pulsatilla or natrimur. So, these type of common confusions comes up very easily. Then repertory also had a lot of limitations, because in repertory also, repertory is mere selection of peculiar rubrics, and it is very very mathematical and not guiding to the core crux of the case. Then a lot of theories and ideas around materia medica or around different usage of repertory therapeutics, we would get lost into the stories and start theorizing about various aspects of the case. And finally, there's no connection or thread between the symptoms. And all of this will mislead to the wrong remedy. So, if we want to be sure and reproduce our results every now and then we need proper map. Whenever we go somewhere, we use a lot of Google Maps. No, we would just find out that area and put on our map that I want to reach to, say, Chennai or Pune or Mumbai or anywhere in the city. I would use the map. But in homeopathy, that map was somehow missing earlier. Now there are so many tools, but some cases it worked excellently. All of these things, these tools, repertory, materia medica, therapeutics, but results were not reproduced all the time. That's why introduction of system is very, very important. In each individual remedy, we can see that all the symptoms are related to each other. There are symptoms common to the kingdom to which they belong. For example, if we take a plant remedy, it will have symptoms of plant kingdom as a whole or that family. I will tell you by example. Subkingdom and source. So if we get to know about the common features of kingdoms, subkingdoms, and particular subgroup or family, it is always better, easy to choose that remedy, because then you are doubly sure, you're 200% sure that okay, from peculiar symptoms also we are reaching to the remedy, and from kingdom point of view or sub kingdom point of view you are reaching the same remedy. Then you become very 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 sure of your prescription. It becomes the simillimum. So picture behind picture, you have to understand picture behind the picture. We go deeper to these expressions of facts about the disease and situation. So the chief complaint, situation, modalities, various emotions like fears, anxieties, anger, whatever image patient is giving us, dreams, delusion, many thoughts which he has or she has. At that time, we understand the deeper picture, the deeper essence, which we see everywhere in the case. And when you understand this deeper essence of the case, that becomes the kingdom. In every pathology that the patient has in different aspects of his life, this is essential nature of the patient. So when we study this deeper picture, we can see symptoms that are common to kingdom, sub-kingdom, and not only to the remedy. Okay, there are kingdoms, sub-kingdom features, and source, which is the pure remedy, but it will be connected with one thread, which I will show you how. It is almost like spirit of the source is speaking to you. So suppose we have a lachesis patient, and if you understand the language of lachesis, imagine it would be really, really easy to, to prescribe that because we understand that language. So similarly, if you get any patient from any kingdom and you understand the source language, you are just sure of that remedy, which is the simile. So systematic study, I am proposing is systematic study. It is something in nature expressing itself in the inside of you, a plant, animal, or mineral. We have three main kingdoms that is speaking through you. To hear that directly without passing it through the filter of symptoms is the system. So symptoms is expression of the vital force, but here in kingdom, it is directly source speaking to the doctor, something like that. So we have three patterns of human experience, which is called as individual experience of the kingdom. Each one of us remain in this pattern for most part of the life. You will see how. So this we call map. Okay. Map is mineral, animal, and plant. Nothing rocket science. So we have three main kingdoms. Now you will say that why I'm not considering sarcodes, nosodes, and imponderables, because most of the sarcodes actually come from animals, so they come into animals. Nosodes also come from either animal or plant, so they are also included somehow. And imponderables are also chemical in nature, so they are also included in mineral. That's why the broad classification is only three kingdoms and not the other ones. So in homeopathy, we use symptoms as the only or almost only guide to the remedy without considering the source of the drug. This we used to do earlier. But this knowledge can be systematically used in differentiating remedies by studying their origin. If we know which kingdom we are to choose a remedy from, our task becomes much simpler. Before earlier, when I did not have the knowledge of kingdoms, sub kingdoms, and this system, whenever I used to do a case, my only thought was to be that, oh, I need to find out a remedy from 4,500 or 5,000 remedies. And it's such a vast ocean. Because, I have always felt that if the remedy has been proved, if it is included in the materia medica, whether it is small or large or polycrest, whatever, it will have some use. So how could you prescribe only polycrest remedies? There will be some use of small remedies as well. So we have to be open to use small remedies. So, but when I understood the system, now my task has become very, very easy. If I reach to say animal kingdom and sub kingdom, maybe reptilia or mollusk or whatever, I would have to choose the remedy from that 10 remedies or 50 remedies or 12 remedies. And it becomes very, very, it's like filter. You reach to, say, if you come to my city, you reach to Indore airport, and then you go to a central place called Rajwada. And in Rajwada, you can reach to wherever you want to. It's like, filtering out. So where to look for the kingdom? So all patients have features of all the kingdoms, but you have to decide which kingdom he belongs to. So for that, you have to look firstly into chief complaint. Very, very important. It will guide you like anything. Then stress situation. I always ask my patients that what was the most stressful incidents or stressful situation in your life, and that gives me exact experience of the patient, and that experience leads to the kingdom. Dreams in the source itself. Okay, when the patient speaks the source language, an experience of delusion or situation in life. All these things will give you the indication towards kingdom. So there are three main kingdoms, like I said, map, mineral, animal, plant. So let's talk about all three major kingdoms and what kind of issues they have, so that you can also categorize your patients into kingdoms and then, find out your right remedy from that particular kingdom only. It's very, very fascinating, I'm telling you. So minerals have, the main issues of minerals has loss in structure, lacking. They would always talk about something is lacking in my relationship, my structure is not complete, structures are not formed enough, losing the capability or gaining the capability is an issue. Whenever you will talk to a mineral case, the patient will constantly talk about, oh doctor, I'm lacking, I had the capacity, but now I don't have. So losing or gaining is a very, very important issue here. Why? That I'll tell you. So this is our Mendelev's periodic table, and Jan Scholten has done tremendous work around mineral kingdom, and he has, described all the rows and columns of the periodic table and all the minerals and salts of the minerals, and it's a very vast study, very, very interesting. And then it was further taken by Dr. Shankaran and, given his point of view as well. So a lot of minerals we have in homeopathy which are proved. So why do we need periodic table? All homeopathic medicines contain the elements of periodic table. Okay, so we are all science students. We know that our body is made up of minerals. Plants are made up of minerals. In fact, everything is made up of minerals. Minerals are basic elements. Basic, they are either present in trace or in abundant quantity. That's not an issue. But, we will, when we will die, we will become carbon or something, carbon, sulfur, whatever, whatever. So all homeopathic medicines contains the elements. So this becomes a very, very basic kingdom for us. Then imbalance of these elements causes disease like condition in body. So deficiency, okay, deficiency or toxicity, both will cause a disease. All plants and animals contain these elements only. So instead of remembering so many medicines, we have to memorize only the representative element of each group. So if you remember, say, look at this periodic table. So in fourth row, you will see we have potassium, calcium, scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, ferrum, cobalt, nickel, copper, all the things. Similarly, in second row, we have lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon. So if we remember one element from this particular row, okay, we will see more or less similar qualities in other members of the same row or the same group. So if we remember what kind of qualities carbon has, all the carbon remedies, you are open to prescribe all the carbon remedies. There are little differences in them. You just have to remember that. So it really makes your life easy. So how to understand this? This is the question. First of all, whenever you want to understand any kingdom or any group, just focus on the nature. What kind of qualities that particular thing possess in nature? So if suppose we are talking about minerals. So if we forget homeopathy, we are not talking about homeopathy because homeopathic knowledge is different. But if we talk about simple science, you just look around what kind of minerals we have in our life, and if you think about the qualities those mineral possess, you will get to know that all the qualities you will understand through the lens of homeopathy. See how the mineral behaves in natural form. So we all are science students. We all know that what is the basic quality of mineral or any element, that they want to complete their valency. Am I right? Do you agree?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So they have this, this Rutherford model, if you remember. So we have, 2 electrons and then 8 electrons, then 8 electrons, then 18 electrons, and all the electrons, there is a limited number of electrons in each, path. So if they complete their valency, then only they can be stable. Otherwise, they will be unstable. So that's why in human form, in human, language, you will see the minerals talk about lacking because they always lack or they have extra electron. Even if they have extra electron, what they lack is stability. So they want to lose the electron so that their structure gets completed. So that's why, in science and in homeopathy also, you will see similarity, and the similarity is structure. They will think about structure, they will look for stable structure, so they can get that structure either by losing or by gaining. So they will talk about lacking or gaining. So lacking what? Lacking the ability. And what kind of ability? That I will tell you row wise. So every row is concerned about some particular things. For example, row 3. So we have, alumina, sulfur, natrum, all these remedies are there. All these remedies have something to do with love, care, and nourishment. So they will tell, like we know natrum mure has disappointment in love. It is the major remedy. Also, natrum mure has a lot of constipation, dryness, dry stool. Alumina, again, constipation, dry stool. If you talk about sulfur, it has diarrhea. So all the remedies in that particular row has something to do with nutrition because it is third row. So you will see a lot of nutrition related problems. Either they will be very thin, like natural mule, okay, or they will be very, very bulky, or they will have, diarrhea or vomiting or nausea or constipation. So if you understand this one thing, you will be able to understand the entire row, the entire group, and then you will understand that from left to right, how this evolution takes place and what kind of problems they get in evolutionary form. Okay. So you have to look around in nature and understand that particular thing. It is not a rocket science. It's just little bit of common sense and applying that common sense homeopathically. So see how the mineral behaves in nature. So they talk about valency, lacking, gaining, electron, stability, structure. Gather the information related to drug that will help you to understand the core of the remedy. Okay, so this is how we understand the crux, the central features of the kingdom, sub-kingdom. It is not at all theory. If you think that this is theory, no, that's not the case. It is completely practical based on observation. Okay, let's go ahead. So what are the qualities of minerals? They form bonds. We all know they form bonds. Can we disagree on that? No. Okay, so I'm not talking about homeopathically. Homeopathically, we can disagree. But scientifically, we cannot disagree on that. That they will form bonds. They cannot become stable without that. They have metals and non-metals. They have valencies, anion and cation. They want to complete the valency. Like I said, from above downwards, they get heavier. You will have heavier, metals on fifth and sixth row and not, superficially. As they progress, their weight will get heavier. And at the end, we have this seventh row where all the radioactive material is there. Why radioactivity? What is the common, as a common person, I'm telling you, radioactivity means you get so heavy that you lose your electrons. It's a halke ho jao. Because it is so heavy that you cannot contain it anymore. Like uranium, it just loses. It has half-life, but it doesn't get finished. Why? Because it is so heavy that it doesn't contain that weight anymore. It cannot. So above downward, it gets heavy. Essential elements for life, carbon, sulfur, nitrogen, we cannot live without that. Like, for example, if I want to talk about one mineral, I always tell this to my students in my classes that, if one thing which you can think of in minerals, which completes your life and which is very, very crucial for life, is iron. So your blood has iron, your phone has iron, your vehicle has iron, this laptop has iron. Iron is such a crucial metal. You cannot live your life without iron. Everything is iron only. So if you want to understand fourth row, understand iron, you will get everything about fourth row, that particular sub kingdom. Okay, so this is just an example. Let's go ahead. Every living and non-living human being is made up of these minerals. That's why understanding mineral kingdom is very, very crucial. So they will talk about something is missing, something is lacking in me. If that is fulfilled, then I'm okay. It can be lack of stamina. They will talk about different issues in different roles. So lack of stamina, lack of support, all the third row people, especially natrums, they will talk about that. Oh, nobody supports me, or I have great support from my parents, I have great support from my husband, I have great support from my friend, boyfriend, whoever it is. Lack of position. Okay, so aurum is a king. It's a the king metal. which talks about responsibility or lacking the responsibility. It has the symptom that it is a suicidal remedy. Thinks of suicide because it cannot fulfill the responsibility. So it will talk about lack of support, lack of position, lack of confidence, something lacking, lack of security, lack of relationship, any lacking would be there. So how do we recognize a mineral remedy? These patients are often affected by breaks in relationship, because break in relationship is break in bond. So bond is very important for me. Job losses, financial losses, failure in performance, these serves as stress areas for them or exciting factors for their problem. Their fears too are centered in these. They're anxious about failing in their work or breaking the relationship or breaking, because this means you're losing what you possess or have built up so carefully. Their contact with other human beings can be described as one of the structure or function. So if you ask a natrum mure and ignitia, because ignitia is from plant kingdom and natrum is from mineral kingdom. So ignitia will say, oh, doctor, when my father passed away, I was shocked. Ailments from shock and ailments from death of loved ones is a rubric common in both the remedies. So you will see natrum mure will talk about, oh, he was my biggest support. I'm just incomplete without him. He used to guide me. He used to feed me. He used to take care of me. It was very important, doctor. I'm so shattered after, his death. But ignitia will say, I was shocked. I just didn't know how to react to that. So that's why ignitia gets, faint when someone dies, or they would laugh. This thing is there that they laugh on serious matters and cries on laughable matters, because they just don't know that how to react to the surprise and shock. This is common to them because it is plants. Plants are very, very sensitive. But in natrum mure, it is lack of some things, as if some part of me has died. So that is the main sensation of mineral kingdom. For example, the relationship of a father with his son may be limited to that of responsibility. The father perceives his role as the provider of a structure for the son and not as a father. Okay. So in a mineral state, the relationship will mean structure. A loss of the relationship will mean loss of structure. And the relationship is something that will provide structure or complete the structure. So structure is very, very important. This is what I want to emphasize here. A patient requiring a mineral remedy can appear sensitive. They can say, I'm sensitive, but don't go with words. Okay. But when you ask them to explain this sensitivity, the sensitivity will be related to structure and not the reactivity will not be there. Now we'll talk about plant. Okay. So plants, we all know what are the common features of plants in nature, that they are sensitive. Okay. If there is mild little bit of air, you won't notice that or you won't feel it, but the plant will notice. You will see plant and say, okay, hawa chal rahi hai. The air is there. Or the plants will change their shape, size, they will contract, relax, or do something in against the change in the atmosphere. So you understand that change humanly by looking at the plant. Okay. So that's why we understand that plants are very, very sensitive and reactive. Second thing, they can make their own food. Can we make our own food? No. What category we belong to? We are animals. We are into mammalia class. Humans. Okay. We are into animal group. But plants are self-sufficient. You give some air, some sunlight, they will make their food. Not a problem. But we are dependent on plants and animals for our food. So you will see how this knowledge gets converted into homeopathy later when we will talk about animal. Okay. So plants, with plants, the main sensation is, or the main feature is, something is happening within them, like tightening or losing. Structure is complete here. Structure is not a problem because they are not dependent, but they get easily affected when something else happens within them and they react to that. For example, I spoke about ignitia. Okay, so ignitia belongs to a Luganaceae family where Nux vomica is there, Gelsemium is there. All these, this is one group, one family. So the main sensation or main problem in Luganaceae family is shock. They get shocked and the reaction is either they will faint, or shattered or anything. So that depends on remedy. Plants have more specificity in sensation, and when you touch it, it opens up a lot. When you talk about that sensitivity, if they say I'm sensitive, you can ask them, tell me about your sensitivity and how do you react to it. So you have a sensation and opposite of it. For example, if we talk about rustox, okay, rustox, we all know that rustox is ameliorated by continued motion, aggravated by initial motion. So when they start walking, they will have a lot of pain. But when they keep walking, at some pace, they will have amelioration. Why so? Because rustox, anacardium, mangifera indica, Pomocladia, all these remedies belongs to Anacardiaceae family, and Anacardiaceae family has the sensation of caught stiff, tight, not able to move. And movement always helps them. So whenever they will move, they'll like it. Okay. So if you look at these plants, you will see that they like moving in nature. So, and you cannot, if they feel caught, this is the main sensation. Entire life experience can be summarized by it. It is seen at all levels. And this is not only physical, I'm telling you, this is physical, emotional, dreams, relationship, chief complaint. Everywhere you will see the same sensation and reaction. It will be repeated. If it is not repetitive, it is not sensation. It is not the core of the remedy. The phenomenon in plants which happens within something as it should not be and a reaction to it. The sensitivity is to changing patterns and not to a loss, not to a lacking structure. Nothing will be there. Plants can have many sensations together, but the structure issue will not be there. For example, if you are in a room and something is not there, the mineral will say this is not there, this is missing. Plant will say nothing is lacking, but within the structure there's something kuch to ho raha hai andar. Okay, there's something happening within me. It is too bright or dim, this is together separate, doctor, I'm feeling something inside. This is plant sensitivity. So, for example, we will take one rubric. So, we have this rubric called fear of dog. We have different remedies in this rubric from different kingdoms. So, if we try to differentiate from between animal and plant, sorry, not animal, mineral and plant. So, in mineral, if we take example of calcarea, which is a very well known remedy for fear of dog, if you ask them about what is the fear, they will not be able to tell you the specific fear of anything. Okay, they will tell you that doctor, I don't know, but something will harm me. He lacks the capacity, so I'm not able to protect myself. And then if I get if the dog bites me, I will have to go to a doctor, and then doctor will take a lot of money, and there will be medical expenses, and then my financial stability will be compromised. Doctor, I am just cannot afford it. My ability to afford is not there. If you ask stramonium, it has very strong fear. Stramonium is from which family, can you tell me? Very easy question. You can write in the chat box. Stramonium is a plant. It has fear that dog will come and jump on me. There will be fright. He will show the sensation and reaction with graphic description. You will have very beautiful description of stramonium. So something is happening. Fear, fright is very, very important areas for this whole stramonium family. We have belladonna. We have what other remedies? Hyoscyamus is there. All these belongs to only one family. You can write if you know. Anybody? Try, don't worry. Okay, so this is about plant kingdom. Let's talk about third kingdom, which is very, very unique, very important. That is animal kingdom. Solanaceae, Dr. Manoj, absolutely, bingo. Solanaceae. Okay, so Solanaceae is called as tomato potato family. We have, all the wild tomatoes and the common potato, Solanum tuberosum, Solanum, lot of Solanums are there. And Hyoscyamus and Belladonna and Stramonium, all these remedies in Solanaceae family. Beautiful family. In animal kingdom, what is unique quality of animals? Can you tell me? Anybody, if you want to write down anything about what you observe about animals in nature. What is that one quality which we all will agree upon? Can you write down? Anybody? So first of all, they are living. Plants are also living. They are able to express themselves. They have language, many of them, right? Movement, yes, but movement is common to plants as well. What is not common in plant or other kingdoms? They are expressive, and the most important is we all know that survival of the fittest, right? They try anything for survival, and they are dependent on others for food, which is absent in plant kingdom. Plants are self-sufficient, most of them, except this, this insect-eating plants, carnivorous. But all the animals are dependent on either plants or other animals for their food, including us. They cannot make their own food. That's why they are very, very competitive. We all the time say animal kingdom remedies are very competitive because otherwise their species will not survive. So others are very important for them. They are fed by others, scarred by others, taking care of others, competing with them, fighting with others, jealous with others, all the others. So in animal kingdom case, survival instinct, very important, Dr. So. So survival instinct is very, 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 very important here. So survivals to stay alive because you have to save yourself, huh? So there will be, themes of prey and predator. There will be prey animals and predator animals. And sometimes you will see both the themes in one animal, one above the other. Hierarchy is very important. Who is above me? Who is below me? Who is around me? Who is he? So basically, they are trying to locate themselves that who am I in this group? In mammals, you will see this, or who am I in this whole kingdom? Victim aggressor issue. This person is doing this to me. All my problem starts with my mother-in-law. Lot of patients you will see. All problem starts with my spouse. He always, does this. And doctor, all my disease is due to my husband. Father is pushing down me. The teacher gives me pain. The mother-in-law is harassing me. All these, things like where you see me versus others or me versus myself. These are homeopathic themes. So victimized by disease, personification of the disease. This body is giving me all the problem, me versus myself. Threat to life, attention-seeking behavior. You will see in animals because animals, except the small ones which don't need your attention, most of them need your attention. Okay? Attention-seeking behavior, vivid, colorful clothes, attractive behavior. They're very vivacious most of the time, speaks with changing tones, hierarchy, sexuality, because they will reproduce, comparison. All these are animal themes. So the main issue of the animal is survival. It is about competition. Competition with self, competition with others, competition is life. And what would be the expression of survival in animals? High and low, aggressor and victim, strong versus weak, the dominating and dominated. Who is dominating? Who is dominated? And what they are doing in terms of, being in that environment. Persecutor, persecuted. There will be split. So they will always talk about, doctor, I hate myself. I hate my body. I'm just disgusted with myself. Attraction and sexuality, which is very important for the propagation of the species. Jealousy is an important issue. The issue is not about what affects them, but who affects them. Plant will talk about what exactly happens in the situation. If someone is not in my life, or if I have fight with someone, if I'm plant, I'll talk more about what is happening within me. What did I feel? What was my sensation? And not what that person did. But if I'm animal, then I will talk only about that person who has done all these things and he is the cause of my problem. So issue is not what affects them, but who affects them. It's about domination. So for example, lachesis, if you see the similarity, the doctrine of signature, which we see, similarity from nature. In lachesis, we know that all the symptoms are left-sided because all the organs are left-sided. The lachesis, most of the snakes, actually, they are, caught by the neck. If you see snake catchers, They will catch the snake by the neck because the neck is the most sensitive area. That's why in lachesis proving you will see a lot of constriction. They are not able to wear tight clothes, tight collars because constriction around neck, darting movements of the tongue, just like all the snakes. So these are doctrine of signatures. Similarly, we can understand kingdoms also by observing the things in nature. So this knowledge, like I said, can be systematically used in differentiating remedies. And this will be very, very helpful. So in animals, you see, feel something outside is doing something to them. Energy pattern, hand gestures always shows something doing something to the other. Like that. Animal shows somebody comes and gets you like this. So you are dominating me, you are controlling me, you are torturing me, many sensations and no opposite reaction. So they are not like plants. Plants will have opposite reaction. Okay, here only sensation. Always a fight, me versus other. So in minerals, you see structure, lacking, losing, role, relationship, performance, attack, defense. Lot of introspection. Mineral remedies are very, very introspective. They will always talk about themselves because everything is within them. So I'll tell you for a very, very short, sweet example. I had a case where this was a case of natrum and the wife had some, I I don't remember exactly, but some constipation and piles issue and everything. And the major problem in started when her husband, she got to know that the husband had an extramarital affair. So when I asked her, tell me about your stress situation, what do you feel inside? And this lady said that she told me everything, like the husband is very abusive, husband used to hit her, husband had an extramarital relationship, she was a very devoted lady and she used to take care of the house, she was earning, she had a very nice small kid of 5 years old. And at the end I said, okay, so what do you feel about this situation, what is your experience? So she said, doctor, I feel that there is something lacking in me, I have done something wrong and that's why my husband is cheating. It's not his fault at all. It's okay, he got into a relationship, but I have to improve myself. Otherwise, I just feel that I have lost him. So I understood that this is not, you have done this to me. If she would have been an animal kingdom, she would have been, she would have said that, oh, I'll kill that lady. How could you do this to me? You are just ruining my life. But she said, something is lacking in me. Something, I have done something wrong. I need to improve that. So this sort of introspection you will see in mineral remedies. So these are this I have taken from Dr. Shankaran's book called Schema, where he has talked, he has written about features, how they talk, what kind of speech they have, fears and all that. So this is mineral, and below that you will see plant. I'm just showing it, not reading it, about what kind of miasmatic range they have. So yeah, I was talking about mineral remedies. So mineral has, I will tell you shortly about sub-kingdoms as well. So if you know that this is the kingdom, how to choose the sub-kingdom, or how to reach to the remedy. So just to give an example, in mineral, you will have 7 series, 7 rows and 18 columns. Okay. But major are 6 because 7th is, we don't have many proved remedies from this radioactive 7th row, but we know much about all the 6 rows. So these rows are related to, you will see a lot of themes of, human development. So from 0 till you die. So whether you are in worm, when you start taking shape until you die, all these themes are written according to Jan Shorten. So in first row, you will see existence and conception related problems, then separation, then in natrum line, which is third row, a lot of nutrition related issues, identity related issues, love related issues. Then calcium is related to security and task, because once you become little, on your feet, you just want to get security, you want to get job, finances, health, all those things. And when that is taken care of, you want to be creative, you want to excel, perform, get fame. And then everything is done at the senior age. You want to take responsibility of others, and you want to see that how you can contribute to the society, to family, to the group. And then the last is disintegration and death. So this is how you reach to a rule and then the specific remedy. In plant kingdom is divided into many families. If you understand families, these days orders or subclasses, we call it subclasses. There are 6 subclasses of the plant. If you understand that, it is very easy to choose the remedy from that subclass or that order or that family. It all has different sensations or key areas. So plant has one basic sensation and the opposite sensation. There's a lot of sensitivity and reactivity. For example, sensation is tight and the reaction is loose. That is U4BAC family. If the sensation is stiff and not able to move and want to move, the family is anacardiaceae. Okay, so like that. Animals, there are issues of survival, victim, aggressor, attack, defense, one versus other, and they have problem of survival. And there will be a lot of process. They will talk about, the whole process, how I got to know about this thing, and then what happened, and what was my mentality behind it, birth, middle, and end of the story. Everything will be there. They are very interesting cases, basically. So issues of survival, camouflage, conflict, I hate myself. I'm disgusted with this. Attractive, sexuality. Their talk will be also very animated. So animal kingdom is divided into many subkingdoms like mollusks, mammals. So mammals have group issues. Mollusks are very, they are spineless animals basically, small animals. So they are very vulnerable. Like sepia is there, Venus is there, octopus is there. Birds we have. Bird also have issues related to communication and group. Reptiles, then arachnida, which is spiders, and insecta. These are 6 main subclasses. So, for example, this one reptiles, you will see they're hidden, they're camouflaged. Themes of superior and inferior are there. Conspiracy is there. So, when you understand this, you understand that choosing a remedy becomes systematic and the results become reproducible. So system leads to reproducible results, and we need systematic study to reach towards the right remedy. And I hope that this kingdom information will help you to understand your remedy in an elaborative way, and you understand that how system actually evolves and helps you in case taking and reaching to the right summary. Thank you so much for this opportunity. If you have any questions, you can just write down in the chat box. And if you want to email me, this is my email. You can ask questions over there as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yamini Remesh. It's really an excellent session. We really
Thank you.
congratulate you for your effort in concluding the session in right time also, because such a vast subject presented in a short time. That is something great. And you maintain almost every part of the most important thing about both the classes, not only both, all these 3 categories. Anyway, it is the time for discussion, and those who want to participate in discussion may please raise your hand so that we will allow you to unmute yourself and you can speak to Dr. Yamini. It's just some 8 minutes remaining. Please raise. I invite Dr. Manoj to begin the session.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Sanesh. A nice presentation. I was listening to your presentation because
Thank you, sir.
as the number of medicines increase, this kind of grand generalization is needed, I think.
Yes.
Definitely we can reach up to the remedy such a way. But it will take a long time. Because when we are studying in the institutions around 30, 40 years back, such a kind of approach is not there. Only
Yes.
Ortega, some P.S. Ortega, rare, just like that. A few authors are there, and it was not mentioned even in syllabus. But nowadays, our hardworking, talented persons are working well. Moreover, the technology is also helping. Anyway, in the coming year, that will be more beneficial for the common man as well as homeopathy. Congratulations, Dr. Asha, for tremendous work. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir. You rightly said that these tools are very, very important, and we have a lot of software helps these days, and there are books also on these topics. And earlier it was earlier actually in my initial practice also I was very limited to few number of remedies. But when you repertorize also sometimes you get very rare remedy or very unseen remedy, and we are not able to use it. So with this information we are able to use those remedies as well. We are confident that okay, this will match.
Yes, I think this idea was initiated by Farrington. Am I right?
Initiated by
Farrington's material is the first
Farrington.
material
Yes.
kingdom
This is
wise.
actually it's initiated by Bonninghausen himself, because this whole, like you said, grand generalization, this whole theme, taking themes out, is actually initiated by Bonninghausen and then taken ahead by other homeopaths of
In
this
case
time.
of material it was materialized by this Farrington. That's a most important thing.
Yes, true, sir.
Yes, anyway, that's a very good information also. There is a question somebody was asking about sub-kingdoms, but it takes a long time. Anyway, Dr. Yamini can do another session on that, I think.
Yes, sir. It's actually a very long topic, but I will tell you very shortly that every kingdom has lot of sub kingdoms. So like I said about mineral, we have 7 rows and 18 columns. So we have to understand each row, theme of each row, and then column, and then match that. And in plants you have to there are so many ways. So some people understand families, some people have information of subclasses, orders, but that's an entire different thing. So for sub kingdoms, I would suggest that you have to take one kingdom and then start studying that, or start studying the remedies, and yourself you can see that what kind of themes are there, and also refer some books. So if you want to know about books, all different kingdoms have different books. You just like email me and I will send you the list. That can be done.
Okay. Now I invite Dr. Ramadevi Ambadi to say a few words on this presentation. Dr. Ambadi?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Dr. Yamini, it was a very nice session. I had attended Dr. Rajan Shankaran's 2-3 seminars, and I remember all these things he had explained in that time. Anyhow, it was a very wonderful, nice session. Thank you a lot, Dr. Yamini. Please
Thank
come
you.
again with all other listeners. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Doctor, what kind of patients you get nowadays? Whether you are looking only on chronic diseases or chronic cases or in acute cases also?
No, sir, I see a lot of acutes and chronic, both, all type of cases, not a special variety.
What is the rate of success as far as homeopathy in your area? Whether we have a lot of patients coming towards homeopathy, or the trend is on the right way or on the wrong way now?
So there is mix of a batch of people. So if I have seen in my practice and in my area also, there's a lot of awareness these days. In last 5-7 years, there's a lot of awareness about homeopathy and homeopathic usage. Of course, at first instance, people would prefer it for chronic diseases. But once they take some treatment for chronic disease, then they understand its use for acutes, and then they would refer their friends or family or themselves also. They would come for acutes, and some people are very aware, so they the whole, like in my practice, most of my patients, whole the family is homeopathic family. So they would call that we took only homeopathy since many years, and they're aware. But it's mix of both the things, both the worlds.
What kind of support you get from your governments there for homeopathy? Whether
So
the
government
homeopathy...
now they are becoming little aware about homeopathy. It's Ayurvedic is very highly supported by the state government, but homeopathy now they are increasing their support. Earlier there was not much of awareness related to this, because the minister and other people also, who are in bureaucracy, they are also mostly Ayurvedic practitioners. So they have little bit of, inclination towards that. But now, maybe from 3-4 years, it's changing a bit. Though there is a lot of gap still, but yes, it's changing.
What is the number of present homeopathic dispensaries under government? Whether it is in Kerala, we have more than 1,000 homeopathic dispensaries in government sector.
Sir, I don't know the exact number of homeopathic dispensaries, but at PHC and CHC level, we also have homeopaths nowadays. So
Okay.
from last 5-7 years, every PHC and CHC will have a homeopath and a Ayurveda, both the doctors. Earlier, it was only Ayurvedic practitioners. Now, homeopaths are also
aims
there.
to, aims
Doctor,
to, they are included, yes.
Yes,
Dr.
sir.
Yamini, I forgot to tell you one thing. Within
Yes,
this short time, you had given such a good picture of all these three, this map, mineral, animal, as well as plant. Very nicely you had explained. We have got a picture of that the three kingdom. Thank you a lot.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Now it is the time to wind up the session. I invite Dr. Manoj GS to say auto thanks.
Yes, definitely. I think a sound knowledge on chemistry is much needed to study homeopathy, because we all know the Hahnemann himself was a renowned chemist, has got a lot of knowledge of the preparation of medicines. The Mercurius solubilis Hahnemannis and the preparation of causticum are typical examples. So just like that, we should also have some knowledge, to acquire some knowledge on the chemistry also in order to study the material properly. On behalf of IFPH, I am expressing sincere thanks Dr. Yamini. On behalf of IFPH and all those participants in the session, thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Manoj, and thank you, Dr. Yamini Remesh, and those who attended the session. Tomorrow we will have a session from Dr. Neha Kakkar, and she will be talking about fibrocystic diseases of breast and its homeopathic management. With that, we come to the end of the day 1527. Thank you all. Good night.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, IFPH, for this opportunity. Good night. Thank you.